Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name is Levi McCurdy, and today I'm on one. As you can see here, we're in an Airbnb, okay? And what do you do when you're in an Airbnb and you're alone, okay? There's only two things you can do: drugs and alcohol. That's what Daddy's doing, okay? Listen, I'm in an Airbnb, interesting situation. Okay, two things happen. One, Meg said to me, hey man, let's do like a weekend sabbatical. You can go somewhere, I'll go somewhere, I'll go to the spa, you hang out with the boys, you do whatever you want to do, go. Get away from me, get away from the kid for a weekend, I'll do the same thing next weekend. I said, hey honey, that sounds great. Now, listen. We've been trying to plan these for a while. It's been like 6 months in the working. Megs has always said, and I've said this to everybody, Megs has always said, instead of flowers or like, hey man, like don't just buy me shit, just like surprise me. Send me to a hotel and a spa day for the weekend. That's what I want instead. So now we're just doing it. Okay, because I'm terrible at surprises. So this weekend's my weekend. I have decided to do my getaway here. I'm in an undisclosed town. If you know where I'm at, you know. And I'm doing business, okay? We had a business meeting today. That's where I just came from. It ended up being a 5-hour business meeting. Now, the actual business only lasted an hour, but then we did an hour and a half drinking beer afterwards, and then we did another hour and a half drinking whiskey after that, okay? That's how you do business here, where I'm at in this town. And basically, the reason we did a 5-hour business meeting is because, and I told Paul I was going to say it on the podcast, and I'll just, listen, I don't like bragging. I don't like being conceited because I feel like that's like the old me. But basically, this business meeting, as long as they approve the contract and everything goes through and we end up partnering with this company, which it seems like we will be doing based on our 5-hour meeting, it gives me direct access. This contract and what I'm doing here today, and this is not bullshit. I know 99.9% of everything I do in my life and on this podcast is bullshit. But basically, this contract, if we get it, and I mean, come on, it's me, it's us. If we get this contract, it gives me direct access to people like Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, Hailey Bieber, should have said her second, but I put her third, Machine Gun Kelly, Megan Fox, Ariana Grande, Post Malone, and pretty much any other major recording artist you can think of. Okay? So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, hey man, what are we doing at the Saturday business meeting where I can potentially see, listen, I'm not going to bullshit. Where I just was for this meeting, if I was there 72 hours ago, 3 days ago, I would have been in a 20-foot proximity of Justin Bieber and his wife, Hailey. Okay? These are the kind of meetings Daddy is having. It's happening, people. And when it's ready to be public, it will be public. Let me just get my fucking screen. Display setting, my iPad. Unfortunately, because I'm not at home, I'm not in my studio, so nothing is set up. My iPad, auto lock. Here we go. Never. My iPad's trying to go off, and that's where all my notes are. So let's just go here and here. So, crazy business meeting, crazy life I live, craziness. If you don't subscribe to this podcast, you probably should, because there's going to be a lot of crazy news coming. And we're going to have a lot of great guests this year. Speaking of, and dude, this is going off script. Here we go. It's 2022 where we go off script. Speaking of this year, two things. One, I have done 1 out of 2 New Year's resolution goals. Let's start with the first one, this podcast. This episode means that I am now on track to do an episode every week of 2022 so far. Now, is my release schedule all over the place? Yes. Am I working on it? Yes. Am I going to fix it? Probably not. Are you going to be upset? Probably yes. But just know I'm working on it. So I think what's going to happen from now on is the podcast is going to get recorded probably either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or if need be, Sunday. And then it comes out on Monday. So that's my goal, which is why I'm recording this now. It's currently Saturday. It's 7:42 p.m. I'm trying to get this done now so I can edit this before the Super Bowl tomorrow. Now, speaking of the Super Bowl, we got to talk about it because we released this last episode with TKO. Tyler Edwards, my boy, our one of our longest friends. And his prediction was, if I'm remembering this correctly, don't quote me on it, this will come out after the Super Bowl, so it doesn't fucking matter. I think he said 27-31 Bengals. Now, unfortunately, everybody that I've talked to thus far has said to me that the Rams are going to win this Super Bowl, and TKO said that the Rams are not going to win. It's going to be the Bengals. So I went ahead and I put a $200 bet. And again, you'll know if I won when this episode comes out because I probably won't release it because I'll be richer than I was before. So I put $200 down on 27-31 Bengals winning, which is like a plus 1,900 bet or whatever the fuck FanDuel says. I don't know, dude. I don't know sports. I hardly know football. I hardly have any business watching the Super Bowl, but I do it every year. And for the last 2 years, I've put money on it. Last year, I did the whole bet $5 win big thing. And last year I did that like twice and I won like I turned like $20 into like $500 last year, which is fine. And that was cool. But now this year, so I did $200 on the exact score of the game. And if it hits, if Tyler's right, and again, you'll know as soon as this is out, if Tyler's right, my $200 becomes $50,000, dude. And I told him, I texted him right away. I'm like, listen, man, I made this bet. I said, if this hits 3 hours after the Super Bowl, you, me, and Kodak are on a private jet. I'm paying for it. Okay. We're on a private jet. We're going to Vegas. We're putting all 50,000 of these dollars on a color, red or black. I said black. He said red. We'll figure it out when we get there. I paid for the private jet, so I'm pretty sure I'll win. And then we're putting it all in one color because if you can fucking predict the score of the Super Bowl, you need to get to Vegas immediately. So that's where we're at. Super Bowl's tomorrow. Not sure who's coming over. Morgan, Christina, Kodak, maybe. I got to text him and talk to him about it. We'll figure it out. But listen, who even listens to other podcasts anymore? You're certainly not listening to this one, okay? Who listens to podcasts anymore when all the news in the world surrounds Spotify, which we're hosted on? Thank you, Spotify. We love you. We love you, Spotify. We never do anything to hurt our relationship with Spotify on purpose. So Spotify, thank you. How can you listen to podcasts when the news surrounding Spotify and the world's largest podcast, okay? I mean, it's hands down, this has been inevitable. Spotify hosts the world's largest podcast. You know, Alex Cooper and Call Her Daddy were about to run into some trouble, okay? Alex Cooper, Call Her Daddy. She's out here fucking interviewing everybody, okay? She's got Julia Rose, I think is her name. What's her name? I don't know her name. But she's Kanye West's new girlfriend, Okay? She's got Kanye West, new girl, Kanye's Muse. That's what she's calling it. Okay? She's interviewing everybody. And the Call Her Daddy podcast has got some people up in arms. Okay? We've made some people mad that have affected the lives of the American people. Let me make sure I get these names right. Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. You may know them from their popular albums that they released back in 1963, dude. In the 60s or 70s is when fucking Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, I might be off by a decade or two, but who gives a fuck? This episode is brought to you by BarkBox. Give your dog exactly what they want. With our new theme collection boxes every month, your pup will never be bored. Listen, every box, okay, comes with 2 innovative toys, 2 all-natural bags of treats, and a premium long-lasting chew. It takes Lumi hours to get through these things. Other long-lasting chews, it takes him minutes to get through. It takes him hours to get through these. BarkBox is fucking legit, okay? Our pack has your back. With BarkBox's 100% happy dog guaranteed, they'll work with you to make sure every order's right. No muss, fuss, or disappointed pups. Now, normally when you sign up for BarkBox, you only get 1 month free. And I said, hey man, what are we doing with just 1 month? So I called Janet. I said, hey lady, give us an extra month. Okay? My listeners need it. So on us, on the WAD Pod, go to BarkBox.com/WAD. That's WAWD, BarkBox.com/WAD. Okay? The link is on the screen. It's in the description. Just click on that. You're going to get not 1, you're going to get 2 months free. Okay? Your dog is going to be happy for 2 additional free months that you don't have to pay for. Go to BarkBox.com/WAD. Get your dog those innovative toys, the all-natural bags of treats, and the premium long-lasting chew every month, and we guarantee your dog will never be happier. Sign up today. Support the show. BarkBox.com/WAD. Let's get back to it. Neil Young and Joni Mitchell are removing their music from Spotify because of the Call Her Daddy podcast and Alex Cooper and all the waves that she's making. Now, meanwhile, Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, they're busy playing bingo, okay? They're busy playing bingo at Cumberland County Fire Hall, where magician Levi Sparks performed his first and only public magic show, getting ready for their surprise performance at the York Fair. The York Fair has been listing hints at their surprise concert series now for the last week. They're announcing it on Monday, on Valentine's Day out of all days. And they've posted pictures and they're like, here's clue number 1. Here's clue number 2. Guess who's coming to the York Fair stage? And, so I missed clue number 1, unfortunately, but clue number 2 was an old oak tree with a rope swing on it. And naturally, I thought, hey man, who would have fun swinging on a rope swing like old school, old oak tree, old rope swing style? Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Now, the York Fair never responded to my Facebook status of that being who was going to be the concert series. So naturally, I did everything I needed to do to make sure that I was correct. So I waited for the next day. And the next day, the York Fair posted clue number 3. And guess what? You can go to Facebook. It's public knowledge. Look it up right now. Clue number 3 from the York State Fair was a picture of old hands playing bingo, presumably in a fire hall. Now, I don't know who would be more suitable. Now that their music is off Spotify, they don't have anything else to do, dude. Joni Mitchell and Neil Young are playing bingo. Okay? This is coming to the York Fair. Watch out. Monday on Facebook, the York Fair is going to announce who's coming. I think it's Joni Mitchell and Neil Young based off of their news and controversy with Spotify and the Call Her Daddy podcast with Alex Cooper. That's what I think is happening with the... What? It's the Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's having problems with Spotify. It's not Call Her Daddy. It's a bit. The whole thing's a bit. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. That whole thing was 99% true, but 1% a bit. It is not the Call Her Daddy podcast. We just got news. It is, in fact, the Joe Rogan podcast. Of course I knew this, people. It's a fucking red herring. Like, get with it. Get with it. Okay? It's Joe Rogan and Spotify, but everything else I said is true. Neil Young and Joni Mitchell are coming to the York State Fair. Get your tickets today. I swear to God. Listen, here's something fucking hilarious. Well, so we're mobile, obviously. I'm in an Airbnb. I just explained that to you for the last 14 minutes. And so I have my mobile set up. I didn't bring the Podcaster Pro and all the microphones and the arms and everything. I got a simple recorder with a simple microphone with a simple XLR cable, which is all you need for a podcast. Anyways, people, I've been trying to tell you this for the last 3 years. You do not need $10,000 like I do to start a podcast. This mixer, it's funny. There's 4 red buttons lit up. One says A, one says B, one says C, and one says D. I think it's a soundboard. I've never used it before, except for right before this podcast. So here is the new sound when we're on mobile. We're going to be doing a couple mobile episodes. You're going to have one next month. Megs and I will be in Mexico exclusively filming content for her thing, something that she's doing, and for my sister's wedding. We're killing 2 birds with 1 stone so I can write off on taxes and this podcast. So you will see us in Mexico with the same setup, most likely. The purple microphones, I love them. And so this button B, let me tell you about button B. Button B is a good button. I think what I want to do is I want to use button B to transition from topics. So I know that myself, I am a natural transition topic dude, right? Like I can naturally flow from topic to topic if it's from like, writing a book to talking about, the war in Iraq. Like those are 2 different things, and those are 2 things I can probably transition to pretty easily. So, but I think this button, what it's going to do, it's going to help us. It's going to help with the transition. It's going to help audibly for the users. Okay, so I'll press the button and then we'll transition to another topic. Okay, here we go. Let's try it out. According to a recent survey, and everyone we know personally, I'll explain in a minute, 50% of all teachers in this country want to quit their job. Here's a TikTok to prove that I'm not an idiot. Here's a TikTok. I'll play it for you. Go ahead.
More than half of teachers are looking for the exits, a new poll says. 55% of teachers say they will leave teaching sooner than they had originally planned. And a big part of it is, so this is NEA, National Education Association poll conducted in January. 90% of teachers say that they are feeling burned out. 86% say they have seen more educators leaving the profession or retiring early since the start of the pandemic. 80% report that unfilled job openings have led to more work obligations for those left. If you look at a teacher's qualification, they actually fit really, really well in corporate America, right? They're highly educated. They know how to manage people. The general tone is that teachers are underpaid and underappreciated.
So, right, so they did the survey, okay? And the survey comes from like the National Teachers Association of whoever the fuck, okay? And all the teachers want to quit their jobs. Okay, this is not news. This is not news. This is not news. This is not 2-minute news. I know teachers. I can count them on my hands personally, how many of them I know. It's about 9 to 10 of them. And basically, they all say the same thing. They're on the left side of the survey. I don't know what the difference is between left and right, so don't quote me on it, but my friends are on my left side of the survey, and they want to quit their jobs too because COVID has destroyed the school system. Okay? I'm talking, how do you expect my child to learn in school when his teacher has a mask covering her face? Or when she is on a computer screen. You know who else is on a computer screen for my child? Coco Melon. So if you're not going, Coco Melon every 34 seconds, my son wants nothing to do with you and your Zoom school. So basically what's happening, and this is also, I think, another story that we're throwing in onto this one. I think California is the state. I'm assuming it's California. I could be wrong on this, so look it up. I'm usually pretty good to tell you when I'm wrong. But I think California is proposing and again, it could be a different state. Don't quote me on it. They're proposing a $13,000 per child student tax credit payment in your bank account every year thing. So basically, what this is saying is if you decide to pull your child out of the public school system, which you have every right to do, they will give you $13,000, a little bit over $1,000 a month to homeschool your child for supplies, the mental strain, the physical space in your house to teach your child anything and all that it takes to homeschool your child. You will receive $13,000 per child. Now, this is all subjective. This is all hearsay. Nothing has been passed yet. This is not real. This is what they're talking about for the future, like within the next, 6 to 18 months. Now, why is this a good idea? Why do I think this is a good idea? Like I just said, I know on all 10 of my fingers people within the school district. I know people within multiple school districts across the state of Pennsylvania who range from teachers, counselors, special education teachers, assistant principals, English teachers, whatever your job is at the school district. I know one person who has your exact job. Therefore, they're all saying the same shit. COVID destroyed the school system. They all have the same opinion. I could have all 12 of them in this Airbnb right now. Half of them are right down the street, dude. Don't make me pick up the fucking phone. I could call half of them right now. They would walk through this door, pick this microphone up out of my hand and say, COVID destroyed the school system and we hate our jobs. They're miserable. They're miserable. No one wants to teach over Zoom. No one wants to teach with a mask on. No one wants to teach students with a mask on. Students don't want to wear the mask. Students don't want to have to do what they're doing because they realize, much like the workforce, much like the 9-to-5 workforce, I know multiple people with multiple 9-to-5 jobs who work, quote unquote, 9 to 5, who are making $300,000 a year because they have multiple jobs with multiple full-time benefits and multiple salaries because each of those fucking jobs, dude, only take 15 to 20 hours a week to do. So, therefore, we get what's happening. If we can't put in 40 hours a week because our job only requires 20, which is most of us, most remote workers know exactly what I'm talking about, then how do we expect the kids to stay on Zoom 8 hours a day? And I get it. Most schools don't. Most schools only do an hour, 2 hours a day of Zoom because it's the mental strain on the children. But the teachers are feeling it too. So here's what's going to happen. Here's the prediction. Here's what the WAD pod is known for. Listen, we predicted Tom Brady. We potentially predicted the score of the Super Bowl on this podcast. You might as well call us the The fucking Simpsons, dude. Here's what I think is going to happen. If this $13,000 a year for every homeschool kid thing gets passed in one state, it's going to get passed the rest of the country. It's going to become the norm that if you homeschool your child, you will receive $13,000 in cash every year for each child. It's inevitable. Now, once it gets passed, immediately after that, 18 months after the signature hits the paper, the population of this country is going to double, if not triple. Everyone will have as many, well, not as many, probably not as many, because, listen, millennials aren't bringing as many kids into this world as the fucking boomers did. So maybe not as many people, but half the people who were considering stop having children will then flip their ideals and have more children. If you give, here's the math. If you have a family of 6, and I'm talking the average family in this country, the 2 parents, moms, dads, whoever you got, whatever, 2 dads, 2 moms, I don't care. 2 parents with 4 kids, which is the average of this country now. I think the average is going down to 2 kids, but I think it's still 4 kids. That's $13,000 per kid, okay? 1 kid's 13, 2 kids is 26, 3 kids is 38, 39, and 4 kids is another, 4 kids is like 52 grand a year. My math might be off, but it's almost 52 grand a year. Now, if you take $52,000 a year that the government gives you for your 4 children homeschooling your kids and put another $10,000 of your own money, which it's 2022, get access to 10 grand and you can make this happen. That's $62,000 that you can pay someone like my friend Jessica to come to your house every day, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and teach your kids privately in your house, and you don't have to do a goddamn thing, and the government is paying for 75 to 80% of it. Now, you don't want to have 3 more kids and you already have 1. I guarantee you live in or close to a community with multiple children in it. You team up with Karen, Jessica, Jasmine across the street, okay? Ian and his wife across the way, right? And you put all of your kids in a garage that you all spent $30,000 collectively. If you all went in on it, you only have to spend maybe $3 grand each, which is nothing today. You got that in your stimulus last year. You can retrofit your garage into a classroom. You all pull together, pay Jessica $65,000 a year to privately teach your 6 kids. It will destroy the education system in this country. The education system will not be destroyed in the sense that we'll still have checks and balances of what the children will need to learn and how they learn it. But your kid getting on a bus and going to school and learning from someone and then getting on a bus and coming home to another building will cease to exist. If this bill gets passed, the education system will slowly crumble. Here's a fact. From 2019 to 2022, the average teacher salary was $63,000. The exact amount of money we need to make this possible for you privately. And I know for a fact, I can guarantee you, the people that I had mentioned before that could walk through here and tell you that COVID ruined the education system, they're not making anything close to $63,000. They're making less. So, like, how does homeschooling look now? Now, there's a lot of other factors to this that we have to consider. Obviously, the social aspect. I don't want my son to be socially awkward in certain situations because he was homeschooled. So we have some things to work on in that aspect, the social thing, right? Which is why the community coming together, we all pitch in $300 a month to pay this teacher to teach all of our kids makes a lot of sense to me. And you know what, dude? Oh, so glad I'm drinking. To put the icing on the fucking cake, if my kids are homeschooled, guess who decides who gets to, determine whether or not they have to read Of Mice and Men? I've talked about Of Mice and Men on this podcast plenty of times, probably on every episode on average. And do you know what I'm going to do? If this bill gets passed, I'm either getting the money or the kids together to hire a private teacher. You know who I'm going to hire? I'm hiring Mrs. fucking Talby, dude. I'm hiring Mrs. Talby, and when she comes into my shit and tries to tell Ollivander that he needs to read Of Mice and Men, when he could easily watch the movie and pass the tests and the quizzes every fucking time, I'm gonna fucking fire her, because you know who pays her salary now? Me. Done, dude. Done. I'm gonna hire Miss Talby to teach my kids with the government's money, and then I'm gonna fire her on the first day. Ah! You remember mobile data, dude, in the early 2000s? I was going to say 2001. I almost just said 2001 on my own podcast. Do you remember mobile data in the early 2000s? Like, my stepmom had the Verizon, the standard Verizon flip phone, and it had a little button, a little globe button, and we all know what that globe button did. Guess what? That bitch got us on the internet. That shit connected us to what we now know as the world. And by God, do you remember? You clicked that little globe button and a little box popped up and it said connecting to the internet. And you hit the red hang up button, you flipped it closed, you pulled out the battery, you did everything you could to kill that connection, because you knew for a fact if your parents saw 16 megabytes of data on their mobile plan in 2001, that you'd be grounded for the rest of your life, because 16 megabytes of data in 2021, dude, 16 megabytes of data in 2001, dude, cost $92. Okay? You added on an extra 6 phone bills in 2001 if you went on the internet. Okay? And we're not even talking, let's even go back. Those phones were the shit. Okay? I just told someone this the other day, and it's unfortunate because I know both of them. I think I told Kodak they will not work because of everyone shutting down their 2G and 3G networks. I have in a lockbox in my closet an LG chocolate, one of the first, this right here, the slide up joints. I had one of the first slide up phones, the LG chocolate, and to go back even further, dude. To go back even further, do you know what's right beside that LG chocolate in my lockbox? A Razer V3. The joint with the blue light up button that was this thin. A Razer V3. It turns on. I have a fresh battery and charger for it. When the grid goes down, Daddy is ready. I got it, baby. I am ready for a 2G network again because I got 2 phones that are rip-roaring ready to go. Listen, I picked up this drink so many times and I haven't drank from it, and I'm not going to do it again. It's my clapping button. They're clapping for me because I'm the shit. You know what I mean? You're welcome. So that was my first cell phone, the LG Chocolate, the slide up that my dad got me. Now, quickly after that, my mom realized, because they were divorced at the time, my mom realized that she had to win us kids back over. If you're a divorced kid of the early 2000s, you know what it's like to get your first cell phone and then a month later, your second cell phone. Because mom and dad are always fighting for your love. Dad got us an LG Chocolate, age 13, and then mom quickly took us to T-Mobile, because I guarantee you, if your parents were anything like mine, I wasn't allowed to take the cell phone that my dad bought me to my mom's house and vice versa, my mom's to my dad's house. Now, that quickly shut down when the cell phone companies caught on and realized that everyone was buying phones and they needed to raise their prices. So I quickly got to one phone very quick. But my mom got me mine after my dad. And then I said, hey guys, they're releasing this shit every year. I need a new one now. This LG Chocolate is like the 2002 model. I need the 2003. I need the Sidekick 3 from T-Mobile, baby. And you know what they said? They said, hey man, you're 15 years old. You can go get yourself a goddamn job and pay for it yourself. So that's what I did. I got a job, and the first phone I bought myself was the T-Mobile Sidekick 3. You held it with both hands like a Nintendo Switch. You used both thumbs, and you flipped that bitch up at least 200 times a day. At least. Man, when I discovered you could put themes and like they had the basic apps, I think the Sidekick and the BlackBerry both had Twitter and Facebook, but it was at the end of their life and the beginning of the social network era. Man, oh man, was I pumped. Look, man, I just told Carlos on like 2 episodes ago, I didn't have an iPhone until like the 3GS. When the 3GS was the first iPhone that dropped that was A, plastic, B, affordable, and C, anyone can get because they made so many of them. I went to the mall with Casey and he bought iPhone 1 for like $700 cash, and no one had $700 cash laying around that their parents were going to give them. My parents were too busy dropping money on Pokemon cards and the 16 first edition holo Charizards I had at the time. So I didn't have an iPhone till the iPhone 3. So I was steady rocking on my LG Chocolate and my Sidekick 3 for a good while. And I'll tell you, for a good while, because my LG Chocolate I was not allowed to use until 7 p.m. because the whole family at the time had 300 minutes to share. And Jeff and Alicia were more important than anybody. You know, they were conducting important business at the time. They had to talk to the rooster manufacturers, the donkey manufacturers, the people in the Dominican Republic for their shit condo down there, the people in New Jersey for their even shit smaller than this Airbnb apartment down there. Okay? Their business was important at the time. Not my girlfriends and not the people I wanted to talk to. So Daddy had to wait till 7 p.m. to talk to everybody. Because after 7 p.m., the minutes became free. Because no one talks on the phone in 2001 after 7 p.m. So they were like, hey, as a catch, come over to our carrier, come over to Verizon because we got 7 p.m. free minutes. AT&T, you got to wait till 8 p.m., motherfucker. So we were chilling cool. We were chilling real cool on Verizon, 7 p.m. Boy, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., because that was my bedtime, was I using those minutes up every goddamn weekday talking to my girlfriends and anyone else at the time that I fucking could. And then, whoo, our plan got upgraded. Our plan got unlimited texting. When we got unlimited texting, it was over for everyone else. Because I made it my single goal. When I found out that T-Mobile sent us a bill in the mail every month, and that bill in the mail had the number, just a number, because it's unlimited. You can do however many you want. It's unlimited. But they told you, just so you knew, how many text messages you sent and received every month. They printed that bitch out and sent it in the mail. And once I discovered that, I looked for that letter every month of my high school career, because in June of 2007, Daddy sent over 10,000 text messages. The average monthly text message sending at the time, 200 to 300. Daddy was out here texting 16 people consecutively. I looked for that number to go up every month because I said, unlimited? You said unlimited? And my bill doesn't go up? Bet, bitch. You know what I mean? Unlimited texting changed the world. And now every data plan obviously is either so many gigs or whatever, unlimited data, because we can't live without our fucking phones. And that's just how it's going to be. So this thing is going around. Oh.
This episode is brought to you by DudeRob. Guys, are you sick and tired of the old department store robes that cost hundreds of dollars and look like something from the 19th century? We get it. That's why we partner with DudeRob. What's a DudeRob? Well, I'll tell you. Every DudeRob comes with a premium hoodie material on the exterior, a super comfy towel-lined interior for enhanced drying, a permanently attached belt so you ain't gonna lose it, deep pockets to hold all your many gadgets on the inside and the outside, non-floppy arm cuffs so you ain't gonna look like you flapping when you get out the shower, matching shorts and pants options so you get the full fit, and it basically looks cooler than any other robe you've ever worn. Coming hot off their Shark Tank appearance, DudeRob sold out robes on Good Morning America within 5 hours. But fear not, they got a fresh stock of robes ready to go exclusively for the What Are We Doing podcast listeners. Yup, that's y'all. Ready for this? Head on over to DudeRob.com and check out their line of robes, shorts, loungewear, and more. And then, when you're ready to check out, use promo code WAD, WAWD, for an additional 20% off. Did you hear me? WAWD at checkout for an additional 20% off. Hey, step up your locker room game and get a DudeRob. DudeRob.com, promo code WAWD at checkout, gets you 20% off. DudeRob, men's luxury hood bath robes. Get at me.
National Pizza Day was yesterday, and by God, some people are shocked. Firstly, I'm going to say it again. I saw it first. Barstool posted this photo. I saw it before everyone else did, and now the meme that is viral in this state is based off of what I saw before everyone else did. So just know that. Barstool Sports posted a picture of the entire country on National Pizza Day. I'll have it up on the screen here for you. And every state in this country had the most popular top-ranking pizza topping. Okay? Listen, the debate is always going to be there. Half of this country assumes that pineapple belongs on pizza, and half the country assumes that pineapple does not belong on pizza. I, for one, think it does in certain 20% of the time situations. Okay? If you want to talk about it further, comment on this episode. I'll bring you on. We'll talk about it further. Now, all the other states, normal, dude. Plain cheese, pepperoni, bacon, sausage, onions, supreme, everything, this, that. The pizzas you and I order on a daily basis. So I'm looking through the states. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at this. I come to Pennsylvania. Now, I'm not the smartest when it comes to history and all that geography, okay? I thought I was looking at a different state. I thought there's no fucking way that Pennsylvania's favorite pizza topping is corn, dude. Corn. C-O-R-N, corn. My friends are shocked. My colleagues are shocked. My business partners are shocked. Everybody in Pennsylvania is shocked. I do not know where Barstool got this information. But Pennsylvania's favorite pizza topping is corn. And fuck. Listen, I put corn in a lot of things. Chili. I put corn in chili. Chili's one of them. I like corn in my chili. And everyone around me hates it. Everyone around me says, Levi, corn doesn't belong in chili. There's so many other things you can do with corn. There's cream of corn, corn flakes, corn beef, corn cobs, corn dogs. Ate a foot-long corn dog on a beach once. Won't ever do that again. Cornfields. Got stuck in one once. Told Meg's parents we were just trying to turn around. They still believe it till this day. Told my parents the same thing. They know what we were doing. Didn't see through my bullshit. We were trying to fuck in a cornfield. Got stuck. Had to get a backhoe to pull us out. Got charged with aggravated assault. I'm a felon. Okay, cornfields, not a fan. Corned beef, corn cobs, corn and copias. Thanksgiving. Corn in copias. Cornucopia is what we call it. Corn on everything. But dude, corn on pizza. The only time I think I've ever had corn on pizza is when I was 11 years old and my father took us to Mexico, and for whatever reason they had fire roasted corn on their pizza. Loved it. Great. Delicious. Perfect. But living in Pennsylvania, being in Pennsylvania, traveling, weddings, magic shows, today's business meeting, this podcast, everything that has ever happened, I have never come across a pizza menu in Pennsylvania that has had corn, even as an optional topping. How are we here? This is just for TikTok, but Megs and I watch the Lizzie McGuire movie. Megs and I just turn on a movie every night before bed, and that's how we fall asleep. Every night. It's a daunting choice. Listen to me. I don't know if you guys have realized this or not, but Jesus Christ. I said this 10 years ago. I said this on one of the first podcasts I've been on. I said this on one of the first podcasts I've ever done. I said this 10 years ago. It was episode 1 of the Blasted Business Podcast, probably still online somewhere. You might be able to find it. But the Blasted Business Podcast, I said, hey, man, bring back Blockbuster, okay? I need a movie rental service in my life again. The time that you spent getting in the car, driving to Blockbuster, walking in the building, smelling the smell of popcorn and anything else that was going on there that day, looking at the shelves, fantasizing about the 18 plus section in the back, looking at all the clearance movies that you can buy and rent, the video games, the Nintendo 64, the DVDs, maybe not so much, but the Blu-rays, whatever they had, the VHSs, the shit that just came out. And then driving home with said physical piece, putting it in, playing it and having a family movie night. Maybe not right away, maybe the next day, maybe a week from there. It didn't matter. That experience has been ripped from the American people's, and probably the rest of the world too. I can't imagine. It's been ripped from us. And now what we have to do is we have to suffer through this inevitable ending, miserable stream of saw that one. Netflix original. Did you see that? I saw that. Yeah, it's dubbed. It's like a Japanese show that they bought. There's subtitles. We have to read. No, okay. We saw that. Yeah, it came out in like 2008, didn't it? Okay. So I turned on the Lizzie McGuire movie, dude. It's the only option. It's the only option anymore. And let me fucking tell you, the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, I've seen this before. I never have. Megs has watched it a dozen times. I've never seen it. She fell asleep. What this motherfucking bitch named Paulo was trying to do to Lizzie and Isabella, okay, it's fucked up shit. If a motherfucker named Paulo ever says, hey, bitch, you look like my girlfriend, and she's out of town for, I don't know why she left. She left, but for whatever reason, she gone now. And I need you to lip sync for me at my concert next week. Don't trust the motherfucker, okay? If he comes up to you at the fountain, and if you just flipped a coin, bing, that's the sound it makes when the coin flips into the fountain. Don't trust him. As sexy and suave as Paulo is, that motherfucker's setting you up, bitch. And listen, don't get on that stage. Don't lip sync shit for Paulo. He'll set you up. That Lizzie McGuire movie, I thought was going to be all fun and games. But yo, Gordo almost got the shaft. They almost sent my boy Gordo back home. He's just trying to help. He's trying to book for Lizzie. Lizzie doesn't get it, okay? But girl Isabella with the brown hair showed up, set Lizzie straight, and they fucked up Paulo's life. That's the Lizzie McGuire movie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the What Are We Doing podcast. As I may or may not have said in the beginning of this episode, because I forget, because my short-term memory shit, and I've been recording now for the last 49 minutes, so I have no idea what I said 48 minutes ago. We have a real big bet on the Super Bowl. We're going back to it. So we have a real big bet on the Super Bowl, and if I hit this bet, it's only, listen, I'll be honest, it's $200, okay? It's $200. It's nothing crazy. It's half a bill, half a phone or a phone bill, whatever, $200. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. If I lose it, it's fine. And if I don't, I win. Heh. So the payout's big. Now, here is a fun fact. 4 words you're definitely going to hear at the Super Bowl. I'm going to Disneyland. This is a fun fact. Listen to me. Google it if you want. We're going back. We're going back to the mid-'80s, okay? Hasn't been a better time than the mid-'80s. Never been a better time than the mid-'80s. Certainly not now. A lot less COVID. A lot less COVID in the mid-'80s. You know what I mean? Disney CEO and his wife, as they do, Mr. Disney and his wife having a lovely dinner. Lobster, I would imagine. Disney CEO probably only eats the finest of things. Haven't had a good lobster roll in a while. Got to get back up to Connecticut. Megan and Brian, what's up? Connecticut, yeah. Got to get back up there for a lobster roll. Anyways, Disney CEO and his wife, they're having dinner, and they're having dinner with Dick and Jane. Swear to God, these are their names. Look it up. Dick and Jane, swear to God. Dick and Jane just got done being the first pilots ever in the mid-'80s to fly an airplane around the planet. Now, holy shit, right? And that's what you're wondering. But, like, I'm not sure why Dick and Jane decided that they were just going to go around the planet in an airplane. Like, why would you... Like, why fly? Like, if you're going to go here on the planet and then fly around, like, you're just going to come back to where you started. And so the point of that, the plane ride, it's strange. So anyway, Mr. Disney at this dinner, listen, not to be confused with Walt either. This is not Walt Disney we're talking about. He's in a cryo chamber somewhere. We're going to wake him up, I think, in like 5 years. But CEO of Disney, I'm just calling him Mr. Disney for story purposes. Mr. Disney, he's sitting down with Dick and Jane, and he says, hey, guys, you just flew a plane around the entire planet. And now what are you going to do? Like, it's the fucking shit. You've reached the pinnacle of life. There's not much more we can do here other than... and then Dick says, well, guess I'm going to Disneyland. As a joke. So then fast forward to Super Bowl 21, XXI. So you know, Super Bowl 21. I'm not sure what the Super Bowl is this year. I think it's like in the 50s, maybe 60s, late 50s. We'll figure it out. Anyways, funny enough, Super Bowl 21, the Broncos and the Giants. Okay, I won't spoil it for you, but if you want to Google the score, you definitely can. So Mr. Disney went to Elway and Simmons and said, looky here, boys, whoever gets it, gets it. And whoever wins big gets fat stacks from Daddy. Okay? But you got to do one little thing for me. Okay? You got to look into the camera at the end of the game. When you win, this is my Mr. Disney impression, and you gotta say, I'm going to Disneyland. And then you gotta fuck my wife. Joking. The wife part. Joking. They then receive a check for $75,000 and an all expenses paid trip to Disneyland for them and their entire family. I swear to God. If the MVP of the Super Bowl, whoever it is, whether it's usually the quarterback, but whatever player it is, the MVP of the Super Bowl, they will sign a contract before the game. And if they become the MVP, if they look into the camera at the end of the game, if their team won, so a lot of stipulations. First, they have to make it to the Super Bowl. Next, they have to become the MVP of the game. Then they have to win said game. Well, reverse the last two in that order, and then they have to look into the camera and say, I'm going to Disneyland, and then they'll get a check for $75,000 and their whole family goes to Disney. Insane that that's a thing that happens in this world. So I will be watching the Super Bowl tomorrow, and if at the end of the game the MVP says I'm going to Disneyland, I'll shit myself. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. Thank you so much for listening and rocking with me. In the last month, this podcast has gained a little over 20,000 downloads. Thank you so much to our sponsors. This episode, I'm talking to you, DudeRob. Thank you guys so much. Use promo code WAD, W-A-W-D, at checkout when purchasing your DudeRob, shorts, slides, lounge pants, the robe itself, whatever they have to offer there. Also, check out BarkBox. You get an extra month free if you use BarkBox.com/WAD. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode. Thank you so much for listening. My name's Levi McCurdy, and we'll be back. We'll be back in February with some guests. We'll be in Mexico in March. So many things are coming for 2022 this year. I cannot fucking wait. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me so far. This has been another episode. Good night, everybody. Thank you.